exposed. What the fuck are you thinking is exposed? What is atheism hiding exactly? We're pretty out front about the fact that we don't think your God exists, and that's why we're atheists, because we don't think your God exists. Atheists are nothing more than people who don't believe in your God because you have failed to convince us. The fault is yours. The fault is in your religion. The fault is in your book. The fact that it is so vague that anybody could come up with a different translation or interpretation at any given time and say, well, mine is the only correct translation. Mine is the only correct interpretation. Whatever. There's only one interpretation for an atheist.
You know, I was just thinking this morning, it's Monday, so it's hard for me to do that. Sitting here drinking my coffee, watching myself, thinking, God, I'm weird. It's weird stuff that I do, weird things. But you know, I have to say, oh shoot, now I'm doing that stupid accent again. Okay, we're gonna be normal. Thing is, if I do that too much, it's kind of like it sticks, you know. If you want evidence that there's no such thing as God, there's a really easy resource for you that you can go and look at. It's called YouTube. Actual evidence that there's no such thing as God. The evidence that you'll be looking for on YouTube are all the debates put out by Christians or atheists, either Christians debating atheists or atheists debating Christians. There's a zillion of them. All different kinds of atheists, all different kinds of Christians, arguing back and forth. Over and over, an endless barrage of videos arguing back and forth. Why is there so many videos? Why are there so many people debating this? Why am I making this video? Why have I made so many videos? I have like over 600 videos, and I'd say a whole bunch of them. Well, yeah, obviously. I don't want to say a percentage because I got criticized once because you have to actually know what the hell you're talking about if you actually use mathematical quotes or figures, so whatever. A huge chunk of my videos are about religion, and I'm not the only one. Why is that? Why are there all these videos about people mulling over, and let's just say Christianity, because that's what I talk about. I don't really know enough about any of the others to really talk about them in a coherent way. If I say Quran, I get laughed at because I'm pronouncing the word wrong. I have a tendency to pronounce words wrong. Yes, for the majority of my life I've been a writer, not somebody who talks to people. So, okay, so anyway, back to the point. Why are there so many videos? Why this battle back and forth? Well, you atheists are so evil. I'm going to prove the folly of you atheists. And atheists go, you Christians are so stupid. You don't even think you have this. You just, you know, you're just in this big herd of sheep, and you just don't think at all. You just insulting people back and forth, constantly insulting, constantly putting people down. It's like a fucking war. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because atheists will never budge from the fact that they don't believe in God, because Christians have failed to convince them, and they continue to fail to convince them. As long as Christians do nothing but invoke verses from a book that atheists don't think is we don't recognize the Bible as being anything but a work of badly written fiction. And so when Christians are constantly bringing up verses from the Bible as a way to strengthen their argument and make a point, it's like, we're like, whatever. Can you tell us something that that actually mean something, because that's just and I can't even say that enough times, and saying it does no good. Any Christian who listens to this is gonna not get it. Your Bible has zero, it does not impress atheists. You can quote from it till you're blue in the face, and we're gonna go, okay, and it's like, can you just talk? Forget quoting from the stupid, archaic, fictional book, and just talk like a normal human. Talk to us like a normal human. Totally do not use that, because that does not do anything to support your case. We're just asking a simple question. Show us evidence for God. And if Christians could, if they could show us evidence, just any evidence, just the tiniest shred of verifiable evidence, it would be the end of the stupidity. We might still, say, well, your God is a fucking bastard. We don't want to do, we want nothing to do with him. But at least we could let you go on. You want to say that we're bad, evil people because we don't believe in your God, or we don't want to follow him, I should say. Fine. But attacking people because we are incapable of believing something that you fail to prove exists is really stupid. Attacking atheists because you fail is putting the blame, I'm sorry that you're a failure. I'm sorry that your God gives you so little to work with. But it's not our fault. And I get kind of tired of this back and forth stupid battle. It's stupid. Nobody's ever gonna win. Christians, until you can prove it, until you have something to show evidence, verifiable evidence, this is never going to work. You can continue doing this and telling us how stupid we are and how we don't exist forever. It's never going to change anything. And atheists, we're just going to continue to say the same tired old things back. We don't believe in your God. How many different ways can we say this? Your arguments don't fly because they're based on a fictional book and characters that we don't believe exist. We think they're fiction. You can say, well, you're going to go to hell if you don't believe what we believe. We don't believe in hell. We don't believe in the boogeyman in the closet. Until you show us some kind of evidence, you're just talking and pissing people off and stirring the pot and making us go on the defensive so that we make videos back and we tell you why we don't believe. Only for you. Okay, well, how can we get around this? Let's make up different kinds of apologetics or whatever the fuck you call it. I'm sorry, but you know what? If it was true, you wouldn't need apologetics. Apologists? I think that's it. I'm sorry. See this? It's you can't see it. Well, it's only down this much. I haven't begun to drink. I haven't begun to drink. Damn it, I need the caffeine to infuse me. But do you understand what I'm trying to say here? It's like, it's never gonna end. Nobody's gonna win. There's always going to be another way to get around asking a direct question with the Christians. Why don't you just answer the question? Why can't a Christian just say these 3 words? I don't know. I'm sorry that you don't know. I'm sorry that your God leaves you high and dry. All he does is gives you that warm, fuzzy placebo feeling that you get. But you have to keep recharging those batteries to keep that going. And the Bible, which, because it says the word holy on it, it must be really inspired by God. Oh, and because your church says it is, yeah. And it has a few pearls of wisdom in it. You know what? There's pearls of wisdom in lots of books. I have lots of books that I just dearly love. because there's pearls of wisdom in them. But they don't walk around saying they're inspired by God, and they don't try to manipulate other people's lives or guilt trip them. Anyway, I don't want this to go off subject. This was supposed to be short, so I'm going to try to cut it short. My point is, if there was a God, none of this would be happening. If there was a God, we would not be having this stupid round and round and round and round and round and round battle all the time on YouTube. Christians would say, "You want evidence? There it is." Atheists would go, "Whoa, it's really true. What do you know?" And then we would then change our argument to say, "I don't want to follow that. Your God is a bastard. I don't know why you follow that, because he's really quite despicable and horrible, and he's a murderous, baby-killing, slave-condoning bastard, you know." But right now we can't even get to that stage because you haven't yet to prove that he exists. So until you get to the stage where you prove he exists, we can't go to step 2, which is to tell you why we wouldn't follow him. But we can't even do that because we're still stuck on stage 1, trying to just saying we don't think he really exists at all, you know, and you don't prove he exists. And the fact that you don't prove he exists and do all these backflips trying to get around having to prove that he exists proves he doesn't exist, in my opinion. Because if he did exist, you wouldn't have to do that. If he did exist, you would have proven his existence by now. And we wouldn't be doing these stupid videos anymore. And this would not be going on and on and on, would it? So, there you go. Proof that your God doesn't exist. But thanks for playing. I have to say, though, just FYI side note, I like making videos, and as long as there's going to be Christians that can't prove God exists, there will always be this stupid battle. And I do enjoy the creative inspiration that some of the videos that I watch provide me. I like being creative, and I do like making these videos a lot. But at the same time, it does get kind of old hearing every atheist saying the same arguments, because, you know, our argument is the same. We don't believe in God. This is why. How many times do we have to say it, and how many ways do we have to say it? And until the Christian says, "Well, here's the evidence," and puts it on the table, that's all we can say, isn't it? So, Christians, we're waiting. We're just sitting here. We're waiting for you. It's all just, the ball is in your court. All you have to do to win this, to stop the madness, is put the evidence on the table. And no, I'm not talking about the book. No, it's not the book. I'm talking about verifiable evidence. In fact, I think there's a website somewhere on the internet that if you can show verifiable evidence for God, this guy's offering you $1 million or something crazy like that. It's funny that nobody has actually claimed that money, since there's so much evidence for God out there. Okay, well, I gotta go to work, and I have to finish this coffee. It's screaming my name, so, I guess the madness will go on, won't it? Until somebody, I guess forever. Right now my videos are like at 600 something. Oh dear. Okay, well, anyway, if you've been watching, thank you so much. Bye!